Most people don't realize this, but we are further west than even Hawaii. We're 1,000 miles closer to Australia, for example, than even California. We have Chinese warships come up through the Bering Strait. We have had Russian ships for forever plying the Bering Strait as well. We are within the reach of the North Korean missiles in Alaska. So Alaska is truly the real operational fort for North America. I know we have forts in other states, but we have Russian bombers that overfly our state, if not twice, maybe 3 times a month. And our Air Force capability up there obviously moves them out. So we're seeing more activity. We know that there are issues in Asia, including Taiwan and China. And if there is conflict there, Alaska is going to be, unfortunately, part of that, because the military presence that we have in Alaska will probably end up supplying a number of troops and equipment and personnel to deal with that conflict at whatever level that's going to be. And so Alaska is a true operating fort. We're on the front lines. We're 2.5 miles from Russia, literally, between the island of Little Diomede and Big Diomede, Little Diomede being American, Big Diomede being Russian. We see Russia, as mentioned, we see Chinese warships, and we have interceptors to help deal with Korean missile threats. So heightened activity, and I would anticipate we're probably going to see more focus on our military in the future, and that probably should happen.
And coordination between the Chinese and the Russians against Siberia, huge amount of territory, not a lot of people. Most of that investment, to the extent that it's happened, has been Chinese of late. How do you think about that?
I think the future, once again, I think we went from the belief, the concept, the hope, and globalism. I think post-COVID again, and because of these conflicts, I think you're starting to see the world reorganize itself. And I think you're going to see it reorganize itself into, for lack of a better term, regionalism. We talked about Canada, we talked about the United States, again, our neighbors to the south, Mexico, our allies in Western Europe, and our allies in Eastern Asia, the Japanese, the Koreans, Philippines, et cetera. I think you're going to see more coordination between those countries, as you will between China and Russia. Some have laid out a future in which China is going to really invest in Siberia for the purpose of their resources, whether it's power, whether it's dams, whether it's roads, et cetera. It makes sense from that perspective that they're on the same continent, they're in close proximity. So I think you're going to see regionalism. I think you're going to see more and more cooperation between the Chinese and the Russians. And I think you'll see more cooperation between the North American sovereigns and our allies in the Pacific, as well as our allies in Europe.